found him attractive. He was really smart. That was what attracted me to him. Weekend of Gbese, there's this mad party at this club organized by these Nigerian boys. All good. I wake up the next morning to like floods of texts. She just dropped it like a bomb. This guy actually has embarrassed me. Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Lolo for those of you who didn't already know. So today we're here with the Twitter story time, the long-awaited Twitter story time of how I found out my ex was cheating on me on Twitter. But before we get into that video, I want to just do some admin and just say a big thank you guys for 3K subscribers. Like, I know 3K doesn't seem like a lot compared to like a lot of the channels on YouTube and everything, but I've been on this platform for so long, and for some reason I've never really been able to be consistent at it because I always like doubt myself or doubt my videos or doubt my content. And you guys have honestly just been so supportive and so like nice and warm, which is a big change for me online because I always get like people being really mean. So it's really nice, like you guys on YouTube, honestly, like I've changed my thing from hey guys to hey friends, because now that I'm vlogging more, I actually feel like I'm talking to my friends. Like when I have my camera with me, I'm like, oh, I need to tell my vlog. Like I'm no longer like, oh, let me call this person. I'm like, I need to tell the vlog. I need to show the vlog. So you guys are genuinely becoming like my family, my friends. Like, I can't thank you enough for 3K. So road to 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K and above. And again, I'm just so grateful for you guys. But enough of the sappy stuff. Let's get into this video because it's kind of deep and kind of mad. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so I don't even know where to start the story. I have to give you guys some background. Okay, so I'm not gonna say the guy's name, and so we're just gonna call him, for the sake of this video, we're gonna call him Dolapo. So Dolapo and I dated at this time. At this point, we had dated for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I found him attractive. He was really smart. That was what attracted me to him. The way we even started talking was because he said he was gonna like help me with my personal statement. To get into uni. Oh crap, I'm giving a timeline, but you guys don't know him, and he's a really cool guy. So that's how we kind of started talking. I just thought he was so smart and so clever. So yeah, so we date, everything is going well, we see each other all the time. Now Dolapo had like a very interesting friendship group. Like they all went to the same, him and his friends kind of all went to like the same / similar secondary school. So you know how like boys do like this whole, how will I explain it, that boys do? They form like rap groups or like cliques or like, I don't know, like bad boys or, you know, fresh boys or whatever it is like guys do in secondary school. So he was in one of those things, and that thing didn't die, excuse me, didn't die in secondary school like you would think it does. They carried their own over deep into university, and at this stage it's now like, it's not like a group because obviously everybody is separated. Now it's a group chat on BBM. So this is where these guys are like discussing whatever boys discuss. Okay, so just like some more backstory. These guys were like, you know how like well, I don't know if you know, but when I was in uni anyway, we were in England, so everybody was sort of spread out around the country, and so people would throw these parties, and they would have these weird names. They would be things like, what are the names of these parties? Like they would have flyers, and like they would go all over Facebook, and everybody in their various unis and A-levels schools would be like, okay, this weekend of Gbese, there's this mad party at this club organized by these Nigerian boys. So obviously, excuse me, AC sound. So yeah, so obviously and naturally, a lot of girls would like want to hang around these types of guys. It was like a chick magnet, because it was like, oh yeah, I can get you into this party. We have a table, you know. And obviously, some people women who are still in A-levels at the time were under 18. So we need fake IDs and stuff to get into clubs. So these guys are saying, oh, don't worry, it's cool. I got you and you come on my table. You know, it's even a watch for your friends. So at the time, like, I would say these guys were relatively popular in their various fields. Sorry, this story is dragging. I just want you guys to understand how this whole thing happened. At the time also, I had like a pretty strong friendship group. There were 5 of us, We had been friends since primary school. Everyone knew us to be synonymous with each other. And pretty much one person's wahala was the next person's wahala. There was no like avoiding it or separating yourself per se. Anyway, so me and this guy started having issues. Like, we just started having issues. And I remember, like, at this time, obviously I'm young, but I'm just thinking, rah, like, this is mad stressful, you know, like, this is not what I signed up for. And you know, the thing with boys is, like, when they are moving mad, they can't hide it. Like, when they start to move a bit mad, like, their attitude changes, like the way they speak to you changes, like they start using words they never used before. You know, when you're spending quality time together, everything is just kind of different. So as a woman, you have this intuition where you're like, this man is up to no good. He is not up to anything good. My spidey senses are tingling. Something is up. And so I remember I was asking him, okay, no, let me backtrack. So what had happened was, a couple of months prior to this, we had this another one of these party type things in London, and I had gone and he wasn't there. And there was this other boy that liked me or whatever. Actually, there were two boys that liked me, and they were both at this party. And so naturally, you know how boys are at this time, can I buy you a drink? Can we go and have a chat? Can we go have a chat? Like, it's Love Island, you get. So it was like, oh yeah, can we go have a chat? And now, but like the way my social circle is set up, like apart from this Damola guy, that guy that I was dating, these other two guys, I grew up with them. Like, my friendship circle and my social circle is so small. Like, there's so many people that are in my life that I've known since I was about 3, 4, 5 years old. Like, I know where they live, I know their parents. Like, so even if like someone likes you, it's really hard to like shake the friendship with them that you already have. So obviously, naturally, yeah, these guys were being a bit flirty, but they were still my guys. Like, they were still my friends. So we were still able to laugh, chill, do shots, whatever we were doing at the time. So the night ends, I'm thinking, okay, nothing really happens, it's all good. I wake up the next morning to like floods of texts, like, what the hell? You cheated on me, you got with Jolomi, and something, and Sumbo was there, and Sumbo was saying this, and I was just like, rah, like, what's going on? So obviously I knew I hadn't gotten with any of these guys. And so this Jolomi I'm talking about, Jolomi's bad guys, you know how I said these boys do these group things? Jolomi was in one group, Dolapo was in one group, and these two groups didn't really like each other. Like, it wasn't that they didn't like each other, but they were like the two main guy groups, and they came from two different schools. So it was like an unspoken rivalry. Anyway, so naturally, you think Jolomi is gonna pass up an opportunity to have one up on Dolapo? He's not now. So when all these things are happening, Jolomi is not going around saying, oh no, actually nothing happened with me and Lolo. Jolomi is just saying, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to get involved. And I'm just like, bruh, like, you're dogging me out here. So anyway, I'm talking to Dolapo and I'm telling him like, yo, nothing happened. Like, it's all good. Now, I'm even starting to get irritated at this point, because every single time I will talk to this Dolapo guy, so tell me what happened again. So and I was just getting so irritated, because I was like, I'm not even 21, like, this is too much. And at that time, like, I was very, like, it was a short fuse. But actually, I still was really good. I still, you know, tried to make him feel comfortable. Like, I did whatever it was I felt like I needed to do. Bear in mind, today's beat is supernatural because I'm just going around to do errands. And I just thought, so I was really making the guy feel comfortable, everything. But then, you know, when someone's sadness or frustration like turns to anger, and you're like, hold the hell up, like, chill. Like, why are you not giving me attitude because you think I messed with next man? And I'm telling you, I didn't. You don't want to go and ask the man yourself based on pride and different cliques. You would think it's like the Crips and Bloods or something. It was crazy. So he was just like stressing me about it, and there was really nothing I could do. Like, I don't know why I didn't just free the relationship at that point, but I was still feeling bad. I don't know, I'm very empathetic. Like, I still felt bad. Like, okay, me too. Why was I talking to Jolomi when I know that him and Dolapo are in different groups and I'm dating Dolapo? Okay, maybe I'm actually not that great of a girlfriend. So me too, I was having small guilty conscience. Anyway, so this is going on for a while, and I remember I had gone to London to see Dolapo, and when I went into his house like smelled funny. Like, it smelled funny, and it also, you know, as a woman, like when I say like intuition is just intuition. So I just had this feeling, I felt like a babe had been there. Like everything was sort of different, like the house smells different. Like there was like, what was it that I saw? It was either I saw sanitary pad, I saw something, or an airing back or something. And this guy basically has one sister, and at the time I remember she wasn't really coming. I don't remember the details of the story, guys, but I shall know that there was something I saw when I went into that yard that I was like, you playing me, and you think I'm stupid, you think I'm, okay, no problem. So I even sat on it. I remember I asked him, I was like, how far is this airing back? And he was like, oh, it's my sister's room, blah, 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 blah. Now me at the time, like, I wasn't as emotional as I am now. Like, I was really good at compartmentalizing. So I think what I even did was, I think I just went home. I went out with my friends that weekend. It was like a fun weekend, and I went back. And then I went back to school. No, I didn't go back to school. We went to dinner the night before I went back to school. Then the next weekend came, and obviously it's time to come to London. And I remember, I think I came to London like 2 days earlier, than I was supposed to. So I was just at home, and he was now also in London as well. This is now when I started to realize something was really, really not going right. Okay, so I'll never forget, it was like 2 days before this party thing, and he had gone out with his guy friends. So Dolapo calls me at like, maybe when clubs close in London early, so he calls me at like 2, and he's like, oh, that please, he's leaving this place, that please can you come and pick me up, that he just wants us to talk. We haven't talked in so long, because when I went back to school that week, I don't think we really like communicated. So he was like, oh, we haven't spoken in so long, he would really like us to catch up and have a conversation, blah 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 blah. And so me, like, I'm a bit of a night crawler, so I'm always awake at night. So I was like, okay, you know what, fine, whatever, like it's fine, come and pick me up. I lived like in central London, like I lived West End, W kind of London. He lived in North London, so the trip from my house to his house was like a 20-25 minute taxi ride, which wasn't that bad. So he comes to my house, and I remember there's somebody else in the cab. I don't remember who, and I don't remember why, but somebody else is in the cab, and I want to say it was somebody who lived around the same area that he lived, that had gone out that night as well. So they took the same taxi back to North London. So he came to my house, picked me up, and we head over to North London. On our way there, his phone is like buzzing off the hook. Like his phone is ringing. It's at 3 o'clock in the morning. And me, I have this boning thing where I was curious, but I wasn't talking to him. So I was basically forming unlooking. Like I didn't see that his phone was ringing. I was like, I beg, okay. So we get to North London, and this guy says to me that, oh, can I pay for the taxi because he's a bit indisposed? And I'm like, indisposed? Like, I did not ask you to come and pick me up from my house. Like, first of all, you now took a black cab to come and pick me up. Black cabs are like 2-3 times more expensive than regular cabs. So I was like, is it that you wanted to show out to me and come in a black cab? Okay, you did that, then you now got to the destination, you're asking me to pay. And bear in mind, my pocket money was like way less, probably less than his. I was a girl, I was younger. Like, he was making money from all these parties and stuff that he was doing. So if anybody had more disposable income, it was him. But I didn't understand why, because I had watched, it wasn't Snapchat, what was it that we were used to? Was it BBM? There was a way of me like keeping in touch with him, sharp. And I saw that he had spent a lot of money in the club that day. So I was like, what is going on? Why is this guy like acting weird? It was almost as if he was trying to like recreate that weekend, that original weekend where I had gone out and he hadn't, and just trying to make me feel some type of way. So anyway, we get to his house. Obviously I have to pay, and I'm irritated from this point. Like, that's how I am. If I'm not expecting to pay for something and then I have to pay for it, I'm annoyed. Like, I was now in a bad mood. So anyway, like I said, I paid for the taxi, went into his house. He said what he wanted to say, his piece. I think he even passed out after the night out, like passed out on the couch or something. So I just waited until the tube was open, which is about 6:37, got on the tube, went straight back home. I just like, I'm not paying for another taxi, that's for sure. So I got on the train and I literally went back home. So like I said, this was like 2 days before the party. So let's say I'm in London for like 5 days. This is like a long 5-day weekend. I want to say it was even like bank holiday weekend or something like that. There was a reason why a lot of people were in London. So obviously the day the party comes, the party itself comes. It's actually a really good party. I remember it being like fun. I had like no complaints, no issues. I had a good time. The weekend ended up being good. Everything was fine. Everybody gets on their respective trains and everybody goes back to uni, right? All is good. Nah. So this is now where the relevance of my own friendship circle comes into play. So remember at the beginning I told you guys that I had my own kind of like little group and there were like 5 of us in there and everybody's wahala became everybody's wahala, right? Okay. So I have one friend in particular, I'm still friends with her now, and I tell her this thing all the time. She can be so dramatic. Like, she's one of those people that like, she puts things on blast if something is like annoying her. So I guess at this this event, her and this girl, I'm gonna call the girl Daring, right? Her and Daring had gotten into it because I think Daring had either stepped on her or poured something on her, or there was something actually happened between her and this Daring girl at the party. I was none the wiser, and I don't even think it was that big of a deal at the time. So at this time now, Twitter is a big thing, right? Okay. Now this Daring girl, I don't know much about her, but I had heard of her like a little bit. So she was in my circle, but she wasn't like in my circle like that. But I think she had a sister and they were both like kind of pretty or something. I don't even remember what the girl looks like, let me not lie to you. Or either they were pretty or they were new to the circle, so it was like for fresh meat for guys. I hate saying that, but you know what I mean. I don't remember exactly. I just know that I'd heard of this girl before, didn't think much of it, but she'd gotten into this altercation with my friend at the club. So this is actually when it gets serious. Unbeknown to me, this chick is like kind of like subbing my friend on Twitter, talking about something, because my friend too had her own dealings with a guy in this friendship group I'm talking about, this bad boy group. She had a guy that she was talking to and she was having her own drama with. So obviously the guy like knew things about her, and in this boy group they share things like, they share it like pants. Like they used to just share all kinds of things that the other guys had no business knowing about the babes. They just used, it was a cesspool of just gist. And so this girl is like subbing my friend. Over time, these subs become quite real, like quite. But how did you know that? But how did you know that? But how did you know that? How did you know? You know, she was talking about my friend's like insecurities. She was talking about arguments I think my friend had with her guy. And the rest of us were saying they're like, chill, but how does this babe actually know this? Like, this is very, 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 very weird. And so after overtime, well, not overtime, I say overtime, like within the day, my friend has had enough and she's like, kilo day, and starts subbing the girl back. Obviously not with any information about her, but just subbing her, like how babes do her, your weave is ugly. I don't remember what it was, either your weave is ugly or yeah, this, yeah, that. Just some stupid childhood shit. And so my friend starts subbing this girl back. Myself, I did not know that this guy was gonna use his babe to embarrass my life. So I'm there egging my friend on, like, yeah, it's even true, she's stupid, what's all this one she's talking about? Like, she doesn't even know girl code. Like, look at how she's just like talking this and the other. Over time, the subs become less subby and these girls start atting each other like on the timeline, like they're atting each other. And so bear in mind, we're all in different parts of the country. Like we are all hours and hours apart from each other. And then next thing I know, this girl sends a tweet to my friend saying something like basically insinuating like, oh, why are you mad? Like, I'm not the one to be mad at. It's not my fault. And I think my friend starts basically insulting her that she's, you know, babes, like you don't have anything else to say. Start calling somebody a hoe, a this, a that. Now, this girl exposed herself because it was even her guilty conscience that made her admit. Because what she then said was, oh, it's not my fault, and it's not her fault that you, it's not, basically the tweet said, "It's not my fault your friend's boyfriend thinks she's expired." I said, what? Who? Whose boyfriend? Who's expired? Girl, what? I was so confused. And I mean, at first I wasn't entirely sure that it was me, but I think we were the only two that were dating properly at the time. Well, I was the only one in that friendship group that was like, that had a boyfriend that was dating properly at the time. And we were so cliquey that we didn't really have friends outside of each other, so it was literally just us 5. So it was pretty easy to like decipher who was being spoken about. I mean, I don't like embarrassment. So I was even thinking, this girl is capping, she's bluffing and speaking Japanese, what the fuck, like, I'm gonna drag her, wow. So we obviously did our research, and by the next day we were pretty sure that this girl was talking about me, and the Dolapo person that she was talking about, the boyfriend she was talking about was my boyfriend at the time, this Dolapo guy. And so yeah, I basically now had a situation on my hands, courtesy of my friend and her online drama and everything. So was I surprised? No. I was like, okay, this guy has already been acting suspect. So as much as I don't want to believe what this girl is saying off the top, in my gut, I feel like this is my expose. So obviously, I called my man. So I called Dolapo and I'm like, Dolapo, how far this situation and like what's going on? Because I'm not happy with this, I'm not cool with this, and if this is true, that's fine, but please just tell her to keep my shit off the timeline. Like, I think I even said something rude. I was like, keep your side hoe in check, or something, you know, one of those like things. And you know what he said to me? Do you know the nerve of this guy? He was like, nah, why would I do that? Like, basically, why would he keep her in check? He was like, nah, why would I do that? So start yourself. Even now, every time I think about it, like my throat and my chest just goes boom, 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 because it's like, I should sort it out myself. You went to take your ass to the next girl and I should sort it out? Are you crazy? And then obviously this girl, like, she now like grew wings. I think she even atted me. Like, this was a whole Twitter timeline thing. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, everybody was talking about it, and it was like, right, do you like what she said on Lolo? Okay, cool. So I think the next day after the dust had settled, and I was like, okay, I think I replied her tweet being like, my boyfriend, he's all yours. No, he's yours now, sis, good luck. I didn't say sis, I don't know what I said. I was like, he's all yours now, good luck, or something like that, and I left it like that. And then I remember yes, obviously, like, I wanted to find out what had really happened, because I wanted to just like know the timeline of stuff. So I said I had asked him, and he said I supposed to start myself. So I couldn't bring myself to go back there and ask him again and be like, oh, now like, please tell me what's happened. That just was not gonna happen. So I just chested it, I kept quiet, I moved on. And I think it wasn't even that long. I think between a week and 10 days later, this Jalapo guy called me. Yeah, so he calls me all like, oh, that he wants to explain that it wasn't even like that. And I was like, you know what, like, I even liked you to the point that I could have believed you if when I called you the first time that was what you said, but you admitted it with your conduct. Like, you basically said to me, like, sort out yourself. Like, you weren't surprised, you weren't disappointed, you weren't like upset for me, you weren't like understanding of the situation and the embarrassment. Like, you were like, I sorted out myself, so why are you coming to explain? Even though I let him explain, Shab, because I wanted to find out what happened. Turns out that like, she lived very close to him, and she would come over and they would watch movies, and like, they didn't get together, but they would just cuddle on the couch, is what he told me. And I was like, right, okay. Mugu, right? Mumu Ode. Like, was that what you see when you look at me? Because obviously you think I'm an idiot. So he begged, and I was like, he's sorry that nothing really happened. Obviously I never took him back. Found out later down the line that they were getting with each other for a very long time, and it wasn't just cuddle on the couch. Thank God I didn't believe that. I actually found this out years later, because we had a conversation. He finally came clean. I was like, look, like, it's all water under the bridge, I can tell you now. He's a cool guy, so there's no hard feelings, but I just find it so funny that I actually found out about his moves on Twitter. And you know, I explained in the video that I'd been feeling something, like something in my stomach, in my gut was just telling me, something's not right, something's not right. So ever since then, like every time I have any kind of like intuition or feeling, I always listen to it. I always pay attention. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna ignore my gut feeling for nothing anymore, because last time I was right. So I must be like, something about my body must know when things are about to go bad. So I would always say, like, listen to your gut, don't like. And if a guy is moving mad, you always know, there's always a tell, like there's something that lets you know that he's moving crazy. But yeah, that was pretty much how it went down. Like, I don't even think I was that sad for that long, if I'm being honest. And it was actually one of those breakups that I got over quite quickly, because when a guy does me wrong, it's easier for me to move on, because I'm like, I'm angry. So anger is an emotion that doesn't allow me to be sad. I can't be angry and sad at the same time. It's really, really weird. So yeah, that's basically what happened, y'all. Like, every time I think about it, it's just so funny, because she just dropped it like a bomb, and like, it was so people were just were retweeting it and like retweeting and just saying, lol, who's this, oh my god. So it was just so embarrassing at the time, and I was like, this guy actually has embarrassed me. And I was even angry at my friend. I was like, can you see what you've caused? Can you see what you've caused? But then it now makes sense how she knew all this information about my friend, because obviously she was messing with my boyfriend at the time, who was friends with my friend's guy. So obviously she was around them, and like I said, these guys just used to yan. So like, she obviously was like in the know to a lot of private stuff. But yeah, that is it, guys. That is the end of this video. I will try and do more story times when I remember like crazy things that happened to me. You guys asked for the story time so much, so I hope you enjoy it. Please give me a like, leave a comment, like give me a thumbs up, make these videos worth my while. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next one, which is on a Monday, and that will be a vlog. Bye. Thanks for watching.